this video, what we are going to be doing is getting familiarized with the program that is called Fusion 360. Hopefully, most of you have been able to install it in your computers. And now, what we're going to do is get to know first the interface, and then we will learn how to do the shape that you see on the screen at the moment. This is the basic interface of Fusion 360. There are several sections that we are going to go through so you get to know them. This is the first one, right? The left hand side like panel. This is where you will find, first of all, the document settings. This is where we define what are the units for our model. In this case, I have chosen to use millimeters, just like you remember, in according to the technical drawings that we did on the sketchbook. These are the units that have been shown in the technical drawing, so that is the reason we have kept this same unit. Otherwise, you can just click on this, and if you see, there is a new window that appears on the right side, and you can just click here and just change to any other unit. All right. But now we're just going to keep this unit of millimeters. Then I will just open this side, which is, say, it is called name views. We will have the different views of the product, in this case of the Lego piece. If I happen to click on each of them, what happens is that the model is going to um, the camera is going to change, and we are going to get to see the product from that top view in this case. Then we have the front view. We can just zoom out a little bit. We will have the right side, and then this one, which home refers to the isometric projection, that if you remember, this refers to the 3D shape where I am able to see the volume, right? Then over here, we'll find some things related to the Cartesian plans, right? Over here, this is the origin, which basically is like the starting point of the axis X, Y, and Z. So if you see, these are the ones. This is X as you see it. This is Y that goes towards the back, and Z that goes all the way up, right? But we also have the plans. What are they? Basically, this is the space that the 2D space that is composed of the combination of two of those axes. So this one is the XY, this is the X set, and this is the Y set, right? Depending on the shape or the side of the product that you want to do, you may focus on that plane. But at the moment, don't worry about it. We will just go through it a little bit later, okay? Over here, we will just see the information about the body. In this case, we will be able to see the body, which is the whole shape that we have created. And these are the different drawings, 2D drawings that we have done to create the different sections of the product, right? In this case, I will just go through it really quickly. This is a rectangle to create the shape. Then we have the circles for the top part, and these are the circles, which, if you remember the technical drawing, this goes something at the bottom, okay? So, if we want to take a look at the product from another side, so what can we do besides like going through these views on the left side? We can go to the right side, right? In this right side, what we're going to see is this cube, right? If you see, when I hover over each of the sections, what is going to happen is that I see something that is highlighted in blue. The whole point for this is for you to just click on any of those faces, and you are going to be taken to that particular view, right? So what is happening is that I am going all around, or I can just simply like select on these arrows, and then it will turn around. If I click on the little house, then I will be taken to the same view that I have right here that is called home, right? I can also click on this corner so I can hover and move it around, but sometimes the shape can go to places that we don't want it to go. So we just click once again in home and then we're back. Okay. There is another section which is at the bottom. If you don't want to click on this corner, you could also click on this one that says orbit. What does that mean? That while this is highlighted in blue, I will have this icon if you see it right here where my mouse is. So if I click and move around while I'm still clicking, then I will be able to look around, right? At the moment, if you notice, I'm looking at the bottom of the shape, right? Then if I stop doing that and I unclick it, back to it, okay. And this one, I can just click on that one, and what I will do is that I will be able to just face the surface that I am selecting, right? This one, which is pan, what does that mean? Basically, by clicking on it, I can just move left to right, up and down, right? Then we have the zoom in, which you just click and drag so I can zoom in, which you obviously can also do with your mouse pad. But just in case you want to do it, um, you can just click and drag. There is another one which is zoom window. What does that mean? That I am going to create a window and I'm going to zoom in into that space. What do? I just click and drag while I am holding this. If you see, there is a magnifying glass. I have created a square, and if you notice, I zoom in a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is just zoom out. All right. Over here, we have some other things, which probably at the moment is going to be a lot of information. Basically, this just shows me the product in this case with different lines. If you notice right here, I'm seeing the circle that is inside the product, right? Why? Because over here it says shaded with hidden edges, right? And in this one, which is the one that we saw at the very beginning, it's called shaded with visible edges only. What does that mean? Basically, that I will only be seeing what I'm actually able to see with my regular sight, not X-ray sight. Right. Wireframe is without any shading, so there is no more gray. But we're just going to leave it here. All right. We're not going to explore the other ones because it's a little bit of too much information. But over here, we'll just go back to this view and show you this last part, which is quite important. Why? Because the idea is for you to be able to go back just in case you want to, so you know what is it that happened just before. So if you notice, I have gone back like through 3 steps, right? In these 3 steps, if I go at the bottom, what I will see is that I don't have the cylinder at the bottom anymore. Why? Because it was one of those steps. And then if you notice, there is only one cylinder at the top. Why? Because I have eliminated the other ones. Okay. And if I go back a little bit more, then that cylinder disappears. And then if we go all the way to this icon, which is basically like a sketch, then I will see that it has turned into a volume. And we can also like click here so it shows us how is it that it has happened. Wait a second, all the way. So if you see how is it that it's becoming, that was it, as simple as that. But we will learn how to do that ourselves.